There are those in the world who would say, hell is not a real place, nor does it exist at all. And for many who will never see it in their lifetime of existence, this statement would be true. But the very idea that hell could actually exist on our human plane of life is simply mind-numbing to even think about. But that just may be exactly what the truth is, whether you choose to believe it or not. As the story goes, in 1989, a team of Soviet engineers, reportedly led by an individual by the name of Mr. Azakov, were working in the vast Russian province of Siberia while drilling a borehole that was reportedly 9 miles deep, or 47,520 feet. The drill they were using suddenly and without warning broke through into an unexpected large cavern. Intrigued by the unexpected discovery, they began to lower heat sensory equipment into the deep borehole. According to the engineers, the heat was registering at over 1,000 degrees. While taking readings of the extremely high temperatures, some of the men believed they could hear what sounded like screaming coming from deep down inside the Siberian soil. Did Russian engineers really discover hell on Earth? First things first, what exactly is a borehole and what is its purpose?
What did you call me?
A borehole is a narrow shaft bored into the ground, either vertically or horizontally. A borehole may be constructed for many different purposes, including the extraction of water or other liquids, such as petroleum, or gases, such as natural gas. In the case of the Siberian borehole projects, these were part of a geotechnical investigation and mineral exploration and temperature measurement project. If the story is true, this would be a new world record for the deepest borehole ever drilled by mankind. According to the record books, the deepest borehole ever drilled is the Kola Super Deep Borehole, located in Murmansk Oblast, Russia, with a recorded depth of 7.6 miles or 40,230 feet, giving us a recorded difference of 7,290 feet or 1.3 miles. Although the exact location of the borehole in question was never revealed, the fact that these Russian borehole projects were indeed happening in 1989 does at the very least give us a point of connection that there were in fact geological borehole projects happening in the area at the same time, with extremely close depth recordings. Reportedly, signs things were not going as planned for the engineers during the drilling came when the drill began to stop functioning. When the engineers brought the drill back to the surface, they found that the drill bit had melted from the extreme heat. It was not long after this that the engineers' drill managed to break through into a large, unexpected cavern. Upon breaking through into the fiery pit below, workers claimed to hear what sounded like muffled screams. After the drill had been completely removed from the borehole, the deep screams began to echo throughout the worksite, as originally reported in 1989, to the large-scale publication, the Trinity Broadcasting Network. The Trinity Broadcasting Network is a Christian-based network with television shows, and at the time, a very popular printed newsletter. When the story hit the pages of the Trinity newsletter, the story was entitled, "Scientists Discover Hell." Even though many of the workers on the site had not heard firsthand what their recorder was recording, reportedly, a dark feeling had begun to take over the area around the site, causing several of the engineers to completely leave the area. Others claimed to feel lightheaded and dizzy. It did not take long for the men to start questioning if they had drilled directly into the depths of hell. As with any other borehole projects, once the drill was brought up, the testing equipment was sent down. They began by sending extreme temperature measuring devices, along with an audio recording transmitter, which would normally record any geological or earth sounds. But what they recorded was far from any normal earth sounds. What you are about to hear is the original clip of audio, recorded from that cold Siberian day in 1989. We would like to take this moment to express our warning to you that what you are about to hear may be too much for some viewers, and no doubt may very well haunt you in your dreams. Parental discretion is strongly advised. The recording you just heard is the actual recording which surfaced in 2002. For 12 years, the story lay dormant and slowly faded from the headlines. But in 2002, this would change in a major way when radio host Art Bell of the radio show Coast to Coast AM received an email. The email claimed to have the original classified audio recordings made during the drilling project in Siberia. The accompanying letter read as follows. Hello, Mr. Bell. I just recently began listening to your radio show and could not believe it when you talked about the sounds from hell.
My uncle had told me this story a couple of years ago, and I didn't believe him.
Just like one of your listeners tonight who discounted the story as nothing more than just a religious newspaper's fabricated account. The story about the digging and the hearing of the sounds from hell is all very real.
It did occur in Siberia.
My uncle collected audio and videos on the paranormal and supernatural before he passed away fairly recently, and he let me listen to one of the audio tapes that he had on the sounds from hell in Siberia. I made a copy I would like to send to you. It is the original recording that he had received from a friend of his who worked at the BBC. Attached is that sound file from 1989.
It is true, and I, for one, wish it wasn't.
Despite several failed attempts to discredit the story over the years since its recording, not one ever has. From mismatched audio reconstructions of the original audio file to claims that no boreholes were being drilled in Siberia in 1989. The claims to discredit the story have held far less water than the original story itself. This is generally what happens when a story is based on witness accounts and factual locations. They become very hard to discredit. Today, if you do a Google search for sounds from hell, Siberia ranks in the top 5 locations. And not just for sounds from hell, but openings to hell as well. Could this just be a coincidence, or is it something more? Let us know what you think in the comments below. We always want to know what you have to say. Thank you all for watching the WTF Files. God bless you all. This has been the Confidential Report. For even more stories like this one, make sure to subscribe to our channel today. And please show your support by clicking the like button on this video. For even more stories and news you deserve to know the truth about, follow us on Facebook and Twitter. Thank you for watching the Confidential Report.